Previously on Deck of Many Aces. When you see a gleaming white city of towering castles just ahead of you, you get the sense that something is very, very wrong. Okay, you wanted to cast Detect Magic, Delphi.
Let me guess, it's super magic.
Same deal as in Tepmat. Big magic vibes of just pure arcane energy.
There is someone inside, and they are our responsibility. I am going in. If you wouldn't like to, I completely respect that. And you guys can stay, you guys can go back to the herd. But there's someone inside who needs our help, and I am going to go and help them. Welcome to Fantasia Estates, and many congratulations for getting this far. If you are here, it means that Jenkins either approved of you or you bludgeoned him to pieces. Go team. Your task, choose the chest that shows your values to prove to me you're worthy of my daughter's hand. Fortune favors the bold. Go forth and choose well. Sincerely, Ophelia Camarias.
Welcome to Deck of Many Aces, an actual play podcast made with actual asexuals. We are a group of people who identify as somewhere on the aromantic or asexual spectrum, playing 5th edition D&D with a twist. Every character's past, present and future is based on a card drawn from the Deck of Many Things. I am Ellie, your DM. I use she, her pronouns, and I messed up that intro. Damn it!
We'll fix it in post.
It's fine, we'll fix it in post. I'm Ellie. I use she, her pronouns, and I will be your DM today, your demisexual mug. Because I have a big, big mug of tea. Not like mug as in idiot, like mug as in tea.
Why not both?
Yeah. Why not both? To be fair, I realised that I have been unironically dabbing every time you guys do the Ellie, what?
We cannot see you.
How did you not tell us this sooner? 11 episodes, Ellie.
The secret dab content?
How could you not have told me and Eiriol that specifically?
It's like when you all do wham 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 wham, it's like it's in muscle memory at this point. It's not even a conscious decision. I do dab 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 dab.
Everything goes black
Disgusting
and you wake up in a
vibes.
dabbing position.
Oh my goodness.
So maybe I am a bit of a mug for not telling you all that. Would everyone like to introduce themselves?
No. Hi. I am and I play Tohsya
So
Eiriol,
rude.
Battlemaster Loxodon Fighter. We both use she, her pronouns, and I am so excited because my undergraduate degree is finally useful. I can't believe this. I've been waiting for this day. We're gonna crush it. Go team.
My name is Chloe. Eiriol, how
Sorry.
dare you interrupt me? So rude.
I'm
Eiriol
just
forgot
gonna
how
leave
the
now.
alphabet works.
Yeah. That, to be fair, happens a lot.
It's fair. I'm Chloe. I play Raina Riftwood, a Tabaxi bard. I'm excited. Oh, we both use she, her pronouns. One day that will flow out nicely. It is not this day. And that's
Today's
fine.
not that day.
Now you can go, Eiriol.
No, I'll just leave. I'm Eiriol, and I'm playing Delphi, who is a Growfolk warlock. And Delphi uses she, her pronouns, and I use she, they pronouns. I got it right that time. Hell yeah.
Yeah! We unlocked an achievement.
Katie.
Oh, is it me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're the only one left.
I don't know. I don't have any brains.
That's worrying.
Katie, all brawn.
Yeah, y'all will never know this because Katie's an internet cryptic, but in real life they're hench.
No, I'm... Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're...
Yeah, I lift weights all the time and I play
Katie
sports
can
balls
lift
so
all
much.
4 of us at the same time.
With one
With
hand.
all 4 of her arms because she's a cryptid.
Katie had to get all of her doorways widened so that she could fit through. Because her arms
All
are
of
just
her
too
head
dead.
muscles.
Giant muscly arms through.
One time she punched me in the face. It was awesome.
Hi, I'm Katie. I am incredibly hench. My pronouns are she, her, or they, them, and I am playing Morgan, a tiefling wizard, less hench, and she uses she, her pronouns. Let's solve a puzzle.
Yeah, but you also don't know this, but Morgan is also incredibly dense.
Judy
Dench
Dench.
like Judy.
Yeah.
Yes!
Hey.
We made the same joke. I love that.
Yay.
Also, I love that there's clearly like some kind of unspoken social hierarchy of who gets bullied on this podcast, and it's me and Katie for saying all of the dumb stuff all of
It's
the
because
time.
we know you're clearly the 2 smartest people here.
I would not put
disagree with that,
myself
but
in
okay.
Katie's category, but okay.
It's the bully the nerds instinct that lives inside all of us.
Yeah, because we're all too cool for you. And
Yeah, we are so cool. I can't believe we're even here.
I'm so cool. Yeah. I'd like to apologise to the podcast listeners because I am drinking a soda, so I'm going to get maybe a little bit burpy. Hopefully Ellie will fix it, but she might
You're
not.
drinking, what did you call it?
Oh yeah, what did you call it in the chat, Am? Would you
Don't
like
make
to?
fun of me! I call it a softie.
Bully the nerds.
What does that mean?
yeah, Am calls it a softie, like a cool person.
Soft drink! I'm the only
Oh,
elder sibling.
Lord.
No, wait, Ellie's also an elder sibling, right?
Yeah.
I'm also
And
an elder
Chloe.
sibling,
I'm
yeah.
Is Eiriol the only younger sibling?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eiriol's the baby.
Ew.
And actually the baby in terms of age as well.
I think Eiriol may be
yeah.
the tallest, though, so she's not that
Probably.
much of a baby.
Probably.
Eiriol, when were you born?
98.
A baby.
Me too, but
But-
when?
November
October.
98. No, October. Oops.
Wow, Ellie.
Oh, baby!
You were so sure.
The great splitting of the Doma cast.
You are a little baby.
Listen, I will stab you.
With your sword.
Yeah, that's really blunt.
The sword that you built that is dangerous and a weapon.
Listen, not to be a bit Will Byers, but can we play some Dungeons and Dragons?
Let's play.
Let's do it.
Oh, we are all Will Byers in this house.
Okay, does everyone want to... What happened last time? Let's have a little catch-up.
Can I
What
do a
happened last
dramatic
time?
reading of the end of the letter?
Yes.
Do it.
We've had a table with a letter and 3 chests on, and the letter says at the end, in front of you are 3 chests. Each chest is linked to a different door. You may only open one chest, and when you do, the switches in the other chests will disengage. Your task? Choose the chest that shows your values to prove to me you're worthy of my daughter's hand. Fortune favours the bold. Go forth and choose well. Sincerely, Vega Camarias? Camarias. So,
Why am I incapable of making character names and places that no one can pronounce?
So if anyone's ever read The Merchant of Venice, or seen it, it's that.
okay, so what do the chests look like? Do they have anything written on them? Are they made
Yeah,
of
we
different
gotta read 'em.
materials?
We'll get to that in a second. Am, can you do a perception check as Am and not as Toz?
Okay.
Tee.
That's the most terrifying thing we've ever heard.
The fourth wall is breaking down.
I have a character sheet for myself. Wait, let me find
does.
it.
Oh my god. Of
Really?
course you do.
Yeah, my friend made it for me.
What class are you?
She made me a dual, multi-classed bard and I think cleric.
Fair.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm not sure. I'm looking at it now. Might have been a paladin. I think it was a multi-class bard paladin. Actually,
I think
yeah.
I remember it being Paladin.
So
when
my
you showed me.
perception is -1. So that's an 11.
11 will do it. The tree that is that the table is made of, you recognize this type of tree as a fig tree.
Ah, boo. Okay, cool, interesting.
Tee
Is
tee
that,
tee.
is that
This
a
is.
nerd reference?
I was gonna say this is like me and Am like English litting at each other.
I hate this.
What does the fig tree symbolise?
It's a Sylvia Plath reference.
Yeah, it's a Sylvia Plath reference because I'm a sad girl. It comes from a section in the bell jar where basically the main character has a dream and she's at the base of a fig tree and there are all these figs that are growing. And they have different reflections in them. One reflects her as a doctor, one reflects her as a stay-at-home mother, and she's like looking at all these figs. There's a bit where she says, I saw myself sitting in the crotch of this fig tree, starving to death, just because I couldn't make up my mind which of the figs I would choose. I wanted each and every one of them, but choosing one meant losing all the rest. As I sat there, unable to decide, the figs began to wrinkle and go black, and one by one, they plopped to the ground at my feet.
Is that a warning that we need to choose a chest relatively quickly, or they'll start to rot?
I think the idea is to basically commit, like, pick something but commit.
Okay, what do they look like?
Yeah, what do the chests say?
There are 3 chests. Which one would you like to examine? They're all made of the same material. It's this sort of like bronzy colour. It's slightly clashing with the rest of the decor, but it's slightly bronzy, and they all have an image and an inscription on them. Which one would you like to look at first?
I want to make sure I did tell everyone do not touch these. Don't touch anything. I believe that it makes sense that they would be in Elvish because the letter's in Elvish, but everyone just let's read out all the descriptions before we do anything else.
I don't know if I know Elvish. I don't think I do.
I don't.
Am I the only one who knows Elvish?
I don't.
Then I guess I'll look at all of them unless they're in common.
They are in Elvish, yeah. I don't know why, I thought Morgan had Elvish as well.
No, I ditched all of my language proficiencies except common in favour of various proficiency with kits.
That's fair. That's valid. To be fair, this is maybe the only time I would be smart enough to think about languages.
Well, most of the time it doesn't really come up.
It really doesn't, and it really won't with me.
I'm glad I can speak 4 languages. Haha. My reasonings behind the ones I picked was like, so common and Loxodon are a given. Deep speech is like fantasy Latin, and then Elvish is like fantasy French.
Oh, excellent. That's good. That's very good. That's very good logic. I like that. This is going to be a little bit of Toz time then. Which one do you want to look at first? There's the first one, the second one, and the third one.
Literally just all of them, no particular order.
Okay, I'll start with one then. The first chest has a small etching of 3 people holding hands, and an inscription that reads as follows.
Is it a fetching etching?
It's a fetching etching.
One may ponder on life's purpose. Without kinship it is worthless. Trade out strength for something meek. In others you'll find what you seek. Okay, so that one's about, like, family and bonds with other people and stuff.
So, Hufflepuff.
I don't understand this language you're speaking. Next one?
Okay, so the second one has a small gemstone etched on it, and the following little inscription.
All that glitters is not gold. That is true, I have been told. But truth is not as it appears, for gold has power lasting years. Okay, so we've got family, essentially.
Did I hear you say glisters, or did I mishear that?
It says glitters.
I think it was glitters.
I swear you said glisters, I guess.
The traditional Shakespeare, I think, is glisters, but I'm not going to do that.
But the thing that made it famous, which is Tolkien's poem, used glitters.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so that's the second chest, and then the third chest has an etching of a crown, and this one has this inscription.
Grasping sword from the stone, bringing honour to a throne, loyalty flinches at naught, in this flame our heroes wrought. Okay, so it's pretty clear that we have family, gold and glory before us. I do not believe that there is an incorrect answer.
The letter said, fortune favours the bold. I mean, this is a test, yes?
It is a test, but the reason why we're completing this challenge is not for Miss Camarias' hand.
Camarias.
That's what I was going to say.
It's so that we can find whatever's happened to the lost person here. Which, by the way...
Do we know that there is?
We do. There is a flare sent up, so either someone is kidnapped or lost, I believe. Maybe perhaps someone else has been caught in this
But I mean, if we fail in this test, if we choose the wrong answer, then we may not be allowed to get far enough to figure out what's going on.
Also, I would point out, it says in the... This is Tamara. Tamara is still here.
Hello, Tamara.
It said in... Hi, Tars. It mentioned in the letter, choose the chest that shows your values.
So what I was going to say is...
So...
Yes, but it's testing our values to see if our values are presumably compatible with Ophelia Camarias, so...
I do not have any... I don't think this test is testing our values, it's testing our our truthfulness.
Well, yeah, I guess he doesn't want you to pick one that you then turn out to be the other.
He doesn't want you to pick something that you think he wants you to pick something that is true to you. That's what I think this test is.
Is there anything else around here, or is it just the chest and this fig table?
It is just the chest and the fig table, and behind you can see these 3 metallic-looking doors.
So I was just...
Delphi wants to check out the doors.
We can go check out the doors. I am just happy to pick mine because I feel like, again, as much as it doesn't interest me, and no offense to everyone here, I am probably the most marriageable candidate of this little gang we have going on, opposed to, as of course,
That is a...
I could be marriageable. I mean, I do not want to get married to Ophelia Camarias, but I could be marriageable. I could marry someone.
I never thought about it.
I fully believe you.
I don't want to, but I could.
I know, Morgan. Let's look at the doors, everybody.
Yeah. Okay. What are you looking at? What are you looking for?
So I'm guessing they're like... Is there any... Do they have handles? Do they have locks? Or are they just sort of featureless sheets of metal?
They are like featureless sheets of metal. You get the impression that they slide up as opposed to...
Star Trek doors,
as opposed to having a handle that pushes and unlocks.
Okay.
Hey, Delphi.
Yes?
I don't know a lot about grow folk, so just completely ignore me if I'm wrong. No chance you could talk to this fig tree, is there?
No, it's a tree.
I don't know how
enough.
grow
It
folk
can't-
work. I'm sorry.
Oh,
It can't
that's racist.
speak. It is also a table, I may add. If there
It's
is...
alive.
Do your tables talk?
No, not really.
No,
Then
I don't know. I'm just offending everyone
is-
today.
it's-
I'm sorry.
it's growing from the ground. That means it may be alive, but I doubt it could live indoors like this.
Okay.
It needs the sun.
Useful information. I will file away and remember. Okay, cool. Back to doors.
The Delphi cannot speak to tables.
Delphi cannot speak to plants.
Delphi starts speaking to the doors, like, God.
Yes.
Toz thinks this is the funniest thing she has ever seen.
What I understand here, we have to pick a chest that shows our values, but I don't think this is intended for several people at once. So, if we pick one that is a certain person's value but not the others, then the others are essentially lying. But then, obviously it's not designed for that, so I don't know if they'd be happy with that or not.
We could open all 3 boxes at once.
We could try that.
Plus, you could just be my entourage.
Yeah, so we'll open all 3 boxes at once.
I don't think that's I don't think duplicity is our friend here.
I'm with Toz on this one. I don't think we should be trying to trick him.
I suppose you're right. We should just go along with it for now. But all I'm saying is we could try opening all 3 at once. So what would you choose then, Tohsya?
I would choose the 3rd.
Glory?
Not necessarily something I crave, but yeah, it's my job to step up for my family. This is something I'm going to have to do one day, and a lot of the reason why I'm out here is so my family's name can have the continued honour and respect it does. It's kind of my job.
Well, in a way, you mentioned family a lot in that sentence, and didn't we say that was kind of the first one? So you've kind of got 2 going on there.
It's more important to me for what the honour represents. I was raised my whole life with this responsibility that it's my job to protect the people of my city and to look after them, and I can't do that without understanding the world around me. That's why I'm here. And I love my family, but the way that I will get chosen for this is I'm going to have to face my brother in combat and defeat him.
Really?
Oh, that's not nice.
Not now. Yeah. When he's old enough. It's not a battle to the death, but it's part
phew.
of...
For a second there, I was very scared for you.
Yeah, no. But it is a violent affair.
Seems a strange affair.
I thought you got on quite well with your brother.
I do, I love him very much. And I respect him enough to know that he'll be strong enough to face me in combat for a few rounds. Hopefully, my father will have taught him to yield after he's demonstrated his strength. But, we'll see. Don't have to think about that just yet. So I'm going to pick the third box. Is that cool with everyone?
I suppose so.
I guess we've got to keep up the pretense that you're the one wanting the hand of Ophelia, though. Yeah, because otherwise it don't make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I wouldn't pick Glory.
I'm not sure which one I would pick.
You are my entourage. No offense.
Yeah, let's go with that.
I'm your court advisor.
Yes. Delphi is my cultural advisor.
Delphi whispers, "What's an entourage?"
It's. Are you saying this to Raina or Morgan or?
Yes, definitely to Raina.
Okay. I think it's like, when you've got like a pirate captain and he's got like his lackeys. I think it's a bit like that.
Delphi looks more confused.
Raina looks at everything through the lens of pirates.
I mean, yeah, she's right.
I think I'm thinking of it in that Raina probably has a vague idea of what entourage means, but she doesn't normally refer to it with that word. So she's like, I think it's this.
It's your gang, your buddies, you and your mates.
You're the people who make me look good.
Ah.
Yeah.
I see.
I think Delphi might get an idea about... there's nothing to do with physically looking good.
No, of course not. I understand that.
We've got to make her seem like a good, eligible bachelorette, I think was the phrase.
Yes.
Sure.
I'm going to... Toz doesn't open it before getting Tamara's okay as well, but I assume she does.
Tamara looks at the chests and is like, I'm happy with whatever decision you make.
Thank you. Okay.
Go for it then.
Third box. Let's go.
So you open the third box and you hear like a click, and then there's a whirring noise and the door to your right opens.
I walk through.
We follow like the good entourage we are.
Sure.
I'm gonna follow.
As you sort of step over the threshold, whatever is like lighting this place sort of starts flickering a little bit, and you kind of have a sort of sense of, when you spin around like loads and loads and loads and loads of times, and then you stop, and then there's that kind of uneasy whirling, like you're a spinning top and you're kind of waiting to be righted.
Dizziness.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, you know what, Katie? You can have your big words, but I have
Dizziness?
See, logic versus art.
Feeling dizzy, Ellie? Is that a big word?
It's a big word for me. I'm a small person.
That three-syllable word is hoof.
Hoof, hoo boy. So yeah, and as you walk through, you can see that it sort of leads into a kind of a long corridor, and standing a few feet in front of you is a figure, is an old man. Raina, can you do a history check with advantage?
Ooh.
I'm dumb, but I still rolled well, so it's a 17.
Yes.
Yay!
Woo!
You recognize this man, and although it's impossible and the years have changed him significantly, you recognize this to be your brother, Seth.
Do you know?
Excuse me? Wait, so it's a cat man?
Wait.
It's a cat man.
Catman too.
Okay, so the doors have just opened and he's just like there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
And he turns and looks at you and is like, Raina? Raina, what are you doing here?
Seth, is that really you?
He's lost for words. He just nods, kind of dumbly, kind of looks down at his hands, which are shaking. Raina, what is going on?
Morgan casts detect magic.
That's a 10-minute spell, isn't it?
No, that lasts up to 10 minutes, but you can cast it in an
okay.
action.
Okay, cool. You cast it and
I want to see if he's an illusion.
Seth lights up like a Christmas tree.
Knew it!
He's got this pure white light surrounding him. As he sort of like takes this in, he runs towards Raina and disintegrates into dust.
I think that's an illusion. I mean, duh, but...
You mean the person who turned into dust?
Morgan being the least tactful person on the planet.
I pat Raina on the back. You okay?
Wait, what do you mean an illusion?
We went through the door that was supposed to test how heroic we are. It makes sense that we'd see stuff we weren't particularly keen to.
What? I don't know about you, but I'd quite like to see my brother. You mean he was not...
Yes,
He's not real?
that wasn't your brother.
I don't think so. I'm sorry.
But that's good, because that means your other brother might be alive. Yay.
I mean, he's just gonna like kneel down and sift through the dust a little bit, kind of disbelievingly.
It's already like disintegrating.
The rest of our party with minus charisma scores. Just like, sorry.
Yeah, I love that, like, there was this deep, impactful moment of, like, oh my god, like, he disintegrates into dust. And then Morgan goes, I think that was an illusion.
As I said, Raina has everybody's charisma.
Raina has everybody's charisma. As you hold this dust, it already starts disintegrating.
You okay?
No, not really.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We can... After this, maybe we can see if we can find him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would quite like that.
Reel him.
Yeah. Shall we? She like wipes her nose really inelegantly and gets up. He's like, should we move on?
Yeah, everyone keep in mind, illusions abound. Let's go.
Okay.
On that note, Delphi will also cast detect magic, but they can do it at will.
Yeah, I can keep this going for 10 minutes. I assume the place around us is, as they say, hella magic.
Yeah, it's the same. Obviously, you Delphi did detect magic on this whole place previously, and it was covered in this like arcane energy. The same is true of in here. It's
actually,
but it's a little.
Delphi can't because they've still got elemental weapon. But as soon as it's up, but yeah.
Yes, so there's still a sort of a faint aura of magic just everywhere. And so are you continuing into this doorway?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
As you head in, there's a sort of a short corridor that is dimly lit. Can you all do a perception check? Don't get excited.
As our characters, not us.
Before.
Oh my gosh, I rolled a nat 20.
I got a 21.
I got a 14.
I got a 20 perception, not nat 20.
21 for me.
So I got a 24 overall.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay, so in that case, like I said, don't get excited. All of you see a small plaque in front of a second door, which says on it, "Although honor is a great skill, for my daughter, you must understand that truly belonging in a family is a value that we hold very dearly. However, not all is lost. If you had chosen wealth, then I would have sent you into a nightmare worse than you could possibly conceive. However, I don't believe you're irredeemable. Therefore, I'm giving you a second option. Here is a pin pad that unlocks the door to my daughter, Ophelia. It is encrypted, and there is an inscription to the left of the pin pad. If you are able to succeed at this, then perhaps you will be worth my daughter's hand after all. Signed, Vega Camarias.
I knew we made a mistake. I knew that it was a proper test.
Delphi
Okay.
sees this and goes, cracks their knuckles and is like, "This is my time to shine."
I believe in you.
Let's try and solve this before they just jump to using magic to solve it.
There is. So this episode should be called Ellie Really Likes Writing Poetry.com. Because there is a small poem written in common this time, next to a 12-digit keypad. I will post the thing in the chat, but I will also read it for dramatic effect.
I mean, also for the podcast listeners.
Oh, wow.
If you're all happy to do that, unless Delphi was going to...
If you want Delphi to read it, they can do, but it might be...
Was Delphi going to do something else, or was...
No, they'll read it first, and then if they can't solve it, they'll just use a spell.
Rather than ask the other three.
Fantastic. I'm very here for that. So the inscription is as follows, and this is not necessarily a do it along at home, because it's all about all of the gods that we made, because I was like, how do I subtly drop in some world building? With a hammer, that's how she did it, subtle as a sledgehammer. The poem is: Mitre for his lost hair weeps, Taswin shelters his flock, Crawler in her gold hoard sleeps, Delphia picks a lock. Praetor travels far and wide, Umbra lives in the wild, Calacta teaches truth to tide, Iraine brought drought and smiled. Crichton sits and reads her book, Gra lurks in murky deeps, MSVO fells with one look, and Ofcom brings the bleeps.
Ridiculous. I love it. And the pin pad. What?
Yes.
Okay. What does it look like?
12 pins, but instead of numbers, there are small symbols on it. So there is, instead of a 1, there is a little picture of a key. Instead of a 2, there is a little infinity sign. Instead of a 3, there is tentacles. Instead of a 4, there is a little hourglass. Instead of a 5, there is a book. Instead of a 6, there is a dragon. Instead of a 7, there is a loom. Instead of an 8, there is an I. Instead of a 9, there is an O with an X through it. Instead of a... I was about to say 10, but I guess it's like hash and all those weird ones. But then it's an eagle, a tree, and a vine. And I will put that in the chat and repeat it again, because I know that might have been a complicated way of saying it in an oral format.
I wrote them all down.
Cool. So, key, infinity, tentacles, hourglass, book, dragon, loom, eye, O with an X through it, eagle, tree, vine.
Well, there's 12 buttons and there's 12 lines.
Do we just do it in order? That seems very simple.
No.
Yeah, that was my first thought.
No, it's the gods for
Is
each.
it,
I think Toz and Raina immediately sit down to work it out.
I'm a little annoyed because in character Morgan would be all over this, but my brain isn't around.
Well, I'm the opposite because
It's quite hard when you have to roleplay a clever person.
I don't think Raina would know much about it, but I personally, because we've done all world building, is like, oh well, I think it's all of this.
Yeah, Morgan's got +7 to religion, so Morgan should be doing this no problem. But
Ellie, can Katie do some kind of intelligence check to maybe give them a hint?
Yes. How do you want to do this?
if I roll religion, how about that? Will that give
Yeah, no, I mean, yes. Roll me a religion check.
to see if I know what the symbols are?
Yes. Do you want to discuss what you've currently put
Yeah.
on the...
Yeah. I would also say the way I would do it, this is GM to GM, so if you don't want to do this, totally fine, but if I was GMing it, the way I would do it is from 10 upwards, every 5 bound of DC, so 10, 15, 20, you'd get an extra name and symbol.
Oh, loom is mitre. Mitre is the loom.
Mitre, so we have, so
Yeah.
far we have Mitre for loom, Delphia for key, Praetor for eagle, Collector for Hourglass, Irain for the Infinity Sign, Multi-skilled Void Operative for the 0 with the X through it, and Ofcom for the Eye.
Oh, is Grog's the tentacles, right? Grog is the tentacles.
Yes.
Grog's tentacles.
But I think because looking at the poem specifically, we're saying MSVO fells with one look and Ofcom brings the bleeps. The O with the X through is like a bleep, and one look would be an I.
Okay, I'll swap them around then. Umbra, Crichton, Crawler, and Tasween. So we're waiting for Book, Dragon, Tree, and Vine.
Crichton's something to do with learning and intelligence. So I think Crichton is going to be. Can I roll religion to see if these are all stuff I already know?
Yes.
Well, Crichton must be the book because it says Crichton sits and reads her book.
I got a 4 + 7, so I only got an 11 on this.
Okay, with an 11, do I give you the obvious one, or do I give you do I make it slightly more difficult?
If it helps, I think I've figured it all out. Apart from Tree and Vine. I don't know which way round they go.
Well, that was the thing, is I was maybe going to give you one of those, but then I'm like, that's the obvious one that makes the whole thing much easier.
Oh, I think the tree, the Vine is the wild one, right? The Vine is Umbra.
Yeah, but then we've got Taswin shelters his flock, which I wouldn't necessarily say is Tree. But I also wouldn't necessarily say it's Vine, so I don't know.
Tree providing shelter.
Oh, yes.
I will give you... Yeah, okay, so you've already... Never mind then. I was about to be like, I'll give you Crawler. Yeah.
Have we got it right?
I don't think anyone said it, but I think Crawler is the dragon because she's sitting on a horde.
Yeah. So, Ellie, I think our answer is Mitres, so we would press Loom, Tree, Dragon, Key, Eagle, Vine, Hourglass, Infinity, Book, Tentacles, Eye, 0 with an X through.
Sorry for wasting your roll, Katie. We all just hijacked it.
Yeah, I was going to say...
Well, I didn't do a very good roll.
No, I would have told you about Crawler.
Oh, wait, you mean roll like with an E? Yeah, I don't have any brain.
Oh, I actually meant roll with 2 L's, but also that.
Delphi kind of looks at it and goes, I'm a little tired of this, and then takes out the crystal and is going to try and cast Knock on it.
Excellent.
Which is, choose an object you can see within range. The object can be a door, a box, a chest, a set of manacles, a padlock, or that contains a mundane or magical means that prevents access. Basically, it allows it to become unlocked, unstuck, unbarred, but if it has multiple locks, only one of them is unlocked. I think the way they do it is they take out this crystal and they place it against the door, and they kind of, like the tip right against the door, and then they twist it round, and then like finally as they're getting sort of round and round, it like there's a bit where it gets really hard and then it snaps into place and they cast the spell. And when they do, a loud knock audible from as far as 300 feet emanates from the target object.
Are we interrupted in our scheming then through Delphi cutting the Gordian knot?
Yeah, I feel like we all sit round with like a notebook and then Delphi's just like, guys.
Delphi's like looking at it and like trying to figure it out, and then it's like, I can't be bothered to figure this out. I don't know enough about their gods. And then it's like, can I do that thing? Like I did it before, but it was like on like a padlock that I have, and I think it might have just been a fluke, and so it's like trying to do it. And it's just like it's the fun thing of it's like a ritual spell is actually just someone failing it loads, and then finally they get it right.
So we are sitting around for like 15 minutes doing this.
Yeah, so you're all sat around trying to figure this out, and I will tell you above board that you got it right. Yay!
Yeah.
I made like a very, very convoluted version of this, and then I saw all of the memes that Am kept sharing about like D&D groups being completely incapable of solving puzzles that were made for children, and I was like, maybe I should simplify this for ease of gameplay. So you did get it all right, and you did it in the right order. But midway, you're like halfway through, like very carefully putting it into the keypad.
Delphi just wanders over.
Delphi just like, you described it earlier, so I won't describe the thing you did again.
But it also makes a sound that rings out for 300 feet, so it's very loud.
So there's a giant knocking noise, and this door is similar to the other door. It's a Star Trek door. It slides up. Can I get you all to do a perception check, please?
I'm not going to lie, as funny as that was, I'm thinking it was a really dumb move.
14.
That's a 1.
9 plus 4, 13. I can do maths.
13 for me too.
Okay, and Eiriol got a 1.
Yeah, I got a 1 plus 1, so it's a 2.
Delphi's like, wow, there was a keypad here this whole time.
I just thought they put a door, and I was like, ugh.
Okay, yeah, then none of you notice anything.
Oh,
God.
But in the room immediately ahead of you, in fact, no, with a, I think like all of you bar Delphi have a high enough perception to. No, I won't tell you that yet. I'll tell you that in a second. Possibly in next episode, depending on how long this goes.
Yeah, once Delphi opens the door, they are going straight through.
Okay.
They can be the idiot that just walks straight into the trap if you want.
Well, you stride into this room, and in front of you there are 2 people engaged in some kind of combat. There is a lanky elven man who you recognise to be Ophelia Camarias from the billboard outside, who is currently being grappled by a large Loxodon woman.
Oh.
And as the door opens, they're both alerted to your presence, and they both turn and look at you. And the Loxodon woman says, "Nirna? Is that you?" Deck of Many Aces is Am Chisholm, Chloe Elliott, Eiriol Evans, Katie McLeod, and me, Ellie Webster. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Deck of Many Aces. Oh, and Facebook as well. Don't forget Facebook. And tweet at us with the hashtag DOMA. That's DOMA. Please subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes if you like what you hear. If you don't listen on iTunes, that is cool. Just send us a tweet or hit up our Facebook Messenger. We'd be really delighted to hear from you and to hear what you think of the show. Head over to Chloe's SoundCloud to check out the music for the show. She's made a playlist specifically for Deck of Many Aces, and it has all of the original soundtrack on there. It's very cool. I like to listen to it when I'm studying because it's a good vibe and it makes me feel like I can conquer the world. If you like Am, then you can listen to her on our sister podcast, Rendezvous with Destiny. They have just dropped their trailer for their 3rd series. And oh my gosh, guys, it is very exciting. I am very excited. Also, if you are interested in mythology of all flavors and all stripes, but like particularly Norse mythology, this one is gonna be an interesting ride. I'm very excited to see where they go with it. Also, Am is doing real life as far as it goes at the moment, Twitch streaming with Weave the Tale. She's doing the Mora system. It's called Ravenswood Academy, and it's on every Thursday evening. The time might be a bit funky at the moment because of daylight savings, but you can find all the information in the link in the description. If you'd like to support us, then the best thing you can do is do what you're already doing, which is listening. If you really like us and you want to hear more of us, make sure you subscribe, follow us on all our social media. If you want to go above and beyond and be the cream of the crop, then please check out our Acast supporter link. It is a one-time donation link. Think of it as like a tip jar, and all of the proceeds that we are getting from that is going towards setting up a Patreon and having merch and getting a web domain and possibly like other stuff too, other cool fun stuff that I haven't thought of off the top of my head. That being said, if that is something that you are not able to do right now, or if you do not want to do it, then that is fine. This podcast is free and always will be free, and we appreciate and love you anyway. Next episode will be out on the 16th of April. But until then, have an ace week, y'all. Bye!